we will discuss about energy. To do any kind of work, whether it is physical, mental or muscular, we need some energy. As whenever a man who does a work feels tired because he loses some of his energy in doing that work. For example, if we take a one weak man and one a strong man, a weak man will get exhausted only after doing a certain amount of work. But a strong man can continue to do work for a longer duration. So, it depends upon the energy that which person can do which amount of work or what amount of work. So, energy is the ability to do work. Here, now we will define energy as energy is ability to do work. Its SI unit is same as we have discussed in work done. So SI unit is joule and CGS unit is erg. Now we will discuss about the commercial unit of energy. हम सभी के घर पे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का बिल आता है. उस बिल में जो इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी की यूनिट होती है, दैट इज द कमर्शियल यूनिट ऑफ एनर्जी. दैट कमर्शियल यूनिट ऑफ एनर्जी इज किलोवाट आवर. नाउ we will derive its relation with SI unit of energy. As we know that 1 kilowatt is equal to 1000 watts and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1000 into 3600 watt second. We can write it as 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 watt second, and 1 watt second is equal to 1 joule. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. This is the relationship between the commercial unit of energy and SI unit of energy. And another unit of energy is electron volt. It is the amount of energy of an electron when it is accelerated by a potential difference of 1 volt. And 1 electrovolt is equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. Now we will discuss about the different forms of energy. First, we will discuss about heat energy. Whenever we burn coal, gas or anything, heat energy is released. Sun also radiates heat energy. Heat energy of steam is used to do work. So, the heat energy is an energy which is abundant to us, that is in the form of sun or solar energy. Next is light energy. It is a form of energy which help us to see, or it gives us the sensation of vision. Natural source of light is sun, and tube lights, electric bulbs and the various things which we use at our home also emits light energy. Next, sound energy. Whenever we vibrate something, the energy emitted by that vibrating object is known as sound energy. Sound energy gives us the sensation to hear. Next is magnetic energy. Magnet also possess energy known as magnetic energy. Whenever a current is passed through a coil, it stores magnetic energy. Next, electrical energy. Electric cells which we use like in batteries or in remotes, they have electrical energy. Next, chemical energy. Fuels like petrol, diesel and other fuels whichever we use at home also have energy, that is chemical energy. The food that we eat also have energy, that is also chemical energy. Next, solar energy. As we all are very familiar to it, that the energy which we get from sun is solar energy. Next, mechanical energy. The energy possessed by a body due to its state of rest or state of motion is called mechanical energy. Means if body is at rest, then it must be having some energy, or if it is in motion, then also it have energy. These energies are known as the mechanical energy. So, due to this, it is classified again into two categories: kinetic energy and potential energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of a body by the virtue of its motion. For example, whenever a moving object does a work or it strikes another object, then it has a kinetic energy. Next case we can take an object in motion has ability to do work. Means whenever the object is moving, it has some amount of energy. That energy is kinetic energy, and this energy makes him to do work. For example, a flying ball does work on the brick wall that it strikes. Means if we throw a ball, it is in motion, and whenever it strikes the wall, it is doing some amount of work. Now we will discuss about the expression of kinetic energy. To derive its expression, we have to consider some things like, let us consider a body of mass m having velocity v. Initially, the body is at rest. And then a constant horizontal force F is applied on the body. When the force is applied on the body, then the body will attain the velocity v. It means that the body has some final velocity, that is v. If s represents the distance travelled during that time, then work done will be force into displacement. Now if A is the constant acceleration produced in that body, then according to Newton's second law, force will be mass into acceleration. Now, if we substitute this value of force in work done, then work done will be mass into acceleration into distance. Now, by using third equation of motion, we can write v square minus u square equal to 2as. But initially we have considered that body is at rest, so u will be 0. It implies v square is equal to 2as. It implies v square by 2a is equal to s. Now, by substituting this value of s in work done, we get w equal to mass into acceleration into v square by 2a. From here we get half mv square. So, here we conclude that W is equal to half mv square. But according to work energy theorem, the kinetic energy of a body must be equal to the work done in imparting it a velocity v. So here we can write that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. So this is the expression for calculating the kinetic energy of a body having mass m moving with velocity v. Kinetic energy depends upon the speed, but it does not depend upon the direction in which the body is moving. So kinetic energy is a scalar quantity, similarly like work. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. Multiply this expression's denominator and numerator by m, which gives us half m v का whole square by m. We know that mass into velocity is equal to momentum. So kinetic energy is equal to p square by 2m. This is the relation between momentum and the kinetic energy of a body having mass m moving with velocity v. In this case, if we consider that p is constant, then kinetic energy will be inversely proportional to mass of the body. So the graph between the mass and the kinetic energy will be represented as now. In first case, we considered that P is constant. Now, if we consider that kinetic energy Ke is constant, then linear momentum P will be proportional to under root m. So in this case, the graph between P and M will be obtained as in third case, if we consider that mass is constant, means if m is constant, then P will be proportional to under root of kinetic energy. In that case, the graph between momentum and kinetic energy so these three graphs represents that if any one of the parameter is constant, then other two parameters are dependent on each other.